Here's the Publish tab, tab 7. At this stage, we're going to want to create the Word document, and I just want to run through what you can see on the screen here. At the top, there's some health checks, and there are 4 of those right now. Let me just go through those one at a time. The snippets health check tells us that we have 29 total snippets of information that we've captured from other people's work, so 29 pieces of evidence are being used here. But we're also being told that 24 of those still need to be edited, which means we've only dealt with the originality for 5 of them. So this is possibly the 3rd time that we've been informed or warned about originality, and it will come up again. It's such an important thing to get right. The second health check is sources, which tells us that we have 4 sources that we've brought into this project, and one of those 4, only one of those 4, has missing citation data. So if we built the bibliography with what we have now, one of the sources would potentially not be findable by the reader. The third health check, tasks, tells us we have 6 tasks in this project, but 5 of them haven't been checked as done. And finally, words. You can see there's a 2000 target word count, which is what we specified at the very start in details. We've written 1027, so we're only halfway there. And if you hover over the different colours here, you can see how those words are split by section. So the title and author are 14 words. This includes headings, by the way. The introduction is 146, literature 91, and so on. Now, those word counts include the plagiarized content. So if you've not dealt with the originality, the number of words in the thing that you copied from the author's work will be counted. If you've paraphrased or summarized, your paraphrased or summarized content will be counted instead. And that's the health checks. So there are buttons on the right hand side. Clicking any one of those 4 buttons will take you to the right place to fix these issues that exist. And we know these issues exist, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to go ahead and publish to Word anyway. When you're using Writing Helper, the real goal is to have all of these fixed. And when you have 100% against any of these particular health checks, the top 3 will go green. Nice full green bars is what you're aiming for, and you want to essentially get rid of these red components for all of the health checks. So we're going to make a Word document. Let me show you the rest of these elements here. So firstly, reference style. We've not worried once yet about reference style. We have worried about the content of the citations, but the presentation hasn't yet been relevant. But here we can make a choice. We might choose any one of these 12. Now this list of 12 matches my version of Word that you'll see soon. So I will choose IEEE. I can always change my mind again in Word later, so it's not a big deal. The second option is to include uncited sources in the bibliography. We've actually done that in this example. We've only used, I believe, 2 of the sources. So 2 of them, even though they're in our project, they haven't been used. You can include those in your bibliography. And finally, publish to Word. Publishes to Word, so I'm going to click that button now and show you the Word document. So here we have the Word document that we've just created. The first thing you might see is there's a lot of yellow there. Those highlights just mean there is an issue with your Writing Helper work in the sense of either unoriginality or incomplete citations or tasks that you've not done. So we can see in each case this is identified with a little label. So this needs rewording. This is copied and pasted from somebody else's work, as is this, and so on. You can see many of those. Also, incomplete metadata is telling us that actually this citation isn't complete. The reference is missing some information. Also, incomplete tasks. There are a few of these. I think there were 4 or so throughout the document we should be able to find. There's a lot of those issues. Of course, we already said that that's not the goal with Writing Helper. The goal is to fix those in Writing Helper, but I wanted to show you the Word document anyway. So here we are. We've got a fully accessible Word document in front of us, by which I mean I can go to View up here and Navigation pane and use this to find my way through the document. And this structure here will match precisely what we created earlier in Writing Helper. So you can use the navigation. Also, you might notice all of the citations here are IEEE. Let's go to references at the top. We asked for IEEE and we got IEEE, but you can still change your mind here to one of those 12 styles that comes with certainly my version of Word. And if we look at the bibliography at the end, that is what we've just changed it to, the GOST style. Let's go to Harvard. You can see that's all updated as it should be. There's real value in this. Just having the Word document built for you is great because a lot of people really struggle with this. Aside from the temptation to go and procrastinate or spend too much time formatting and worrying about things like line spacing and spelling and grammar and those distractions, it's actually quite useful to have an accessible Word document for a few reasons, which I'll cover in a couple of extra videos. The two reasons I really want to cover are both related to automatic formatting of the document itself and of the references. It's entirely possible with Word to actually apply styles as files to your project here, so you don't actually have to do any formatting at all. And beyond that, there are so many other tools that you can use, for instance, to manage your references here. There are other plugins that you can get. There are various tools to help you with your grammar, punctuation and spelling as well. And all of those things can be done at this stage. As a user, at this point, you should be in a position where you're not really worrying about your content anymore. But back to the beginning of this series of videos, the real value in Writing Helper is to take you away from this WYSIWYG and actually allow you to focus on the content. At this stage, you'll have your content and you'll be good to go with making it presentable and professional.